Hello, this is Kieran York, and I've got my co-host Joseph Anderson here with me.
Hi guys. This is a discussion on the rise, the promise, and the danger of competitive games and educational content.
First off, I'd like to season you all with a quote. I fear not the man who has endeavoured 1,000 skill-capped quotes. I fear the man who has played and VOD reviewed 1,000 games. Now let that simmer a little. Now with that just simmering in your brains a little, I'd like to introduce the point of our video today, and that is that both of us, we weren't
Avid gamers,
highly
experience.
experienced gamers. We've played League of Legends a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. Right? But we didn't used to be avid League of Legends gamers. I mean, we came from different games. I used to play CS:GO.
As
What
did
you used to
I.
play?
Yeah,
We both used to
CS:GO.
play CS:GO, and so we found that on our journey, right, to becoming the mediocre League of Legends gamers we are today.
Yeah, which is the topic of this video is League of Legends.
Right. We just found that the amount of like predatory educational content out there is just astounding.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that with further detail later. But essentially, I feel like it's predatory and it takes advantage and twists it into this little capitalistic little gig they got going on.
Little ploy,
to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
It feels like any little need you have as a beginner, you can look it up and these corporations will be there saying, "Hey, we've got the answer."
I'd
And
also
you'll
like to
watch it
just
and you won't get very far.
I want to make the distinction now between like what we'll talk about later, and we'll be very specific, right? We're not just going to
Yeah.
like be very general like this. We'll be very specific. I want to make the distinction between who we're going to talk about and the smaller content creators that have to like
Yeah,
battle
there's a difference
against
between
these guys.
education content and content that masquerades as educational content.
We'll get into that further, but I just want to make sure that we're not just beating down on this on like these like little content creators that are actually making really good content.
Yeah,
right.
With the express purpose of helping you improve.
And we'll link some of those in the comments. But yeah, I just like to make that distinction before we go any further.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get any further, I'd just like to make the distinction that we do believe there are two categories of games. There are competitive and non-competitive games, and we are focusing on competitive games.
It's easy to make this distinction, right? You think of like Valorant, CS:GO, all these like big pro scene video games.
Yeah, to the
that
point
are
where
highly-
they have
yeah.
millions of viewers during, World's finals and things, like literally 5.5 million last year.
It's astounding the support the community has, right? But what's even more interesting to me is that with competitive games, right, inherently you'll get the need and the want to push towards growth and skill development and just growing as it sounds so cringe as a gamer, right? But
Yeah.
developing those skills, you want to, because who wants to
That's
lose?
central to your experience. Yeah.
Who wants to just sit there and lose, right?
Yeah.
People want to get better. You pick up a game, you try and get better, and that's fun. Learning is fun. And
Yeah.
so this opens up a door, right? Where
Yeah.
there's a door for educational content that swung open.
Yeah.
The boom in like YouTube and the internet and all that. It's swung open. And of course, who wants to get good in a year, right? You want to get good tomorrow. So you look up how to get to whatever rank it is, diamond, whatever. And lo and behold, you see skill capped popping up
LOL
in your feed.
guides. Yeah.
All these sorts of really big channels, right? Like these really big channels that pump out videos. We now have our big case study, right? And for this, we'll be looking into I guess you call it a company, Skill Capped, right? They're basically just a YouTube channel and a website that pumps out copious amounts of educational videos on League of Legends. And so, for those of you that don't know what League of Legends is, it's a MOBA. It's a 5v5 MOBA. It's extremely complicated. Right?
Yeah.
You've got 165 champions. And in 5v5, there's so many combinations of the champions
Yeah.
that you could run into, right? Like just that alone, like the interactions you have, you'll probably never play the same game again.
Yeah.
Right?
And on top of that, you have at least a dozen objectives to go for, and you need to know
Yeah.
when to do them, why you have to do them, etc., etc. And I think the point we're making here is that there's a vast array of skill levels in League of Legends, and what you're thinking at one level will be completely different and fundamentally different to what someone at a different level is thinking. So this is where a big problem lies in educational content, is that someone who is much more experienced than you cannot understand what it is like for you to play the game, and therefore we have issues.
I think now's a good time to bring up the points of our case study. And the first one we're going to be arguing or pushing is that they really aren't educating. They're
Yeah.
pumping out videos that are just farming views of people who seek the quick, easy way to get good. You know, the challenger in 30 days or whatever it is, and promoting their website. They're
Yeah.
farming views, clicks, and pushing their dubious website and their guides.
Which is the end goal here, is to sell the subscription to their course.
Sell the subscription to their course, get monies off like ad revenue off their YouTube, right? That's mainly what it is. Okay.
And if you really think about it, how are they going to get more money by you watching more of their videos? Why are you going to watch more of their videos? Because you don't improve. So really, educating is not the real, the real end goal here.
Is it? Yeah. And second of all, they're peddling this horrible mentality that by simply implementing one of their little gimmicks into their gameplay, right? Into your gameplay, like you'll see this later, the smother technique, right? Like that little gimmick, right? You'll suddenly skyrocket, which is just not true.
Yeah,
It's deluding players, and
yeah, and we'll
teaching-
take a look into the language as well, and you'll see that they use words such as abuse, which really has it's not about improving. It's about use now, quick before it gets patched. It's not about improving.
Yeah, it's not about getting better. Like you may get better. Let's say you abuse this little smother technique for a patch, and then what happens? Back to square one.
Back down you go.
Yeah, they're really not teaching you to improve. That's the main point.
Yeah,
they're not educating you. They're getting capitalistic little. They're getting their revenue, and they're teaching like this horrible mindset that is applicable to life.
I think that's where this all spawns from, is this mindset that you want to say you could get challenger in a year, but no, you want to get it in a week.
Yeah, 30 days to diamond guarantee. Like, you want that
path
now.
with least resistance. So you seek out fast way to do it, and look who's there. You've got skill capped, this little
waiting for you
organization
there, just
here to fill your desire, get you there
open
quick.
arms, embrace you into the little skill capped ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think now we're just gonna do a little deep dive into the skill capped YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And here
expose
we go.
their little secrets. Here we go.
Uncover the dirty secret of skill capped.
Yeah.
We've collated a few thumbnails, right, which I think just demonstrates the points, right, that we've been making. You look at this, right? Look at this, okay? We've got the instant challenger macro, right? 13 minutes. 13-minute complete macro guide for season 13. Right? Like, challengers have been playing for years. Like, it's the highest rank. It's incredibly difficult. It's like a percentage. Like,
to say you can learn all of this thousands of hours of knowledge in 13 minutes is very disingenuous.
Instantly. It's a ranking, right? It's like top however many people in your region. Right? Yeah. You reckon the 87,000 people that watched this got to Challenger instantly with this 13-minute video? Like, seriously, it's pumping out the narrative, right? That this one little gimmick, this little whatever you watch in this video, that you're gonna instantly skyrocket to Halo, and it's deluding people, right? You can see it more and more. You got what the fakers,
easy,
the OP easy champions, like. You see this here, the OP easy champions, how to instantly get there. You want to get there quick and easy and OP and just take the cheese route? Like, maybe it's broken this patch, right? It's buffed or something. What's going to happen next patch when it's no longer buffed? You're just going to move on to the next one? Like, you're just going to hover around trying to scrounge this, like, OP ride the wave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get better that way. I hate to break it to you. And then, what? The Faker's secret smother technique. Like, to climb ranks fast. It all ties back to implementing this trick, this gimmick, this little technique that the best player in the world uses, the smother technique.
Yeah.
And that's suddenly going to get you better, right? But it doesn't. Hate to break it to you, but like it's not going to get you better, right?
You can see all these thumbnails as well. They're geared towards. They have the inside scoop, the little secret to climb,
That
the
you need to
smother
get from
technique,
skill
if you
cap.
will. The Korean build. There's all these little secrets that they hold that you might unlock by watching the next video, right?
Yeah, the sandwich rule. This rule makes team fighting so easy. It's just they're not educating you, right? Let's be real. You're not going
As
to
we've
get better.
mentioned as well, the things that we'll be talking about in this video will not be applicable to someone who wasn't at a high enough level yet to even understand like the level that these concepts are operating on.
You'll be able to see it really clearly when we actually look at the videos themselves, right? But you'll just have to believe us for now. But like it's not really educating you. Like the stuff that they cover is a blanket fix,
Yeah.
right? They market it as like this be all and end all, slap it on you, you get to rank 1, right? But it's not. It's situational. Do you reckon every champ operates the same? If every champ operated the same, how could you like apply
Just
this
boom,
one
slap the
rule for
sandwich
team
rule.
fighting? You know, like it doesn't work. You got to know when to use whatever the sandwich rule is. You got to know how to use it and why, right? Because if you don't know why, how are you going to apply it to a plethora of situations?
And I can tell you, someone who's used the so-called sandwich rule before has never thought about using let me apply this rule here. It's ill intuition.
Yeah, they haven't. Someone that they've got the sandwich rule from isn't planning out the sandwich rule. It's like
here goes
it's
the
come to
ham, here
them
goes the
from
lettuce. Like no.
from the understanding that, like, for example, one champ really wants to get onto me because I'm squishy, right? Like, you know, and they're playing around that knowledge, not, oh, I apply the sandwich rule so I don't get killed. Like, they're doing it at a place of understanding, which is how you, like, adapt and become a better player.
Yeah.
Right? That's
I think that's really the heart of the issue that we're getting at here. Is that skill cap will promise you all these skills that a challenger player might use, and on some level that might be true. They might be saying what a challenger player is doing, but is this applicable to someone who's low elo? No, and it will never be, and it's not going to get you any better.
It's not going to help you really. It's not going to do anything for you. It's farming views out of you who seek this quick smother technique to get me to challenger.
Yeah, and when inevitably you don't improve, what do they have there for you? They have their premium subscription service.
Yeah,
Which is
you
really
get to pay for
here.
this dodgy subscription service that they guarantee gets you to diamond. Like,
yeah, and if you don't, money back. But as we know, that's a bit dubious.
Well, here we go. We'll now move on to the video section.
The
where we
meat and
look at
potatoes.
Here we go with the little review,
The live react.
in-depth, live react. We're basically just going to be looking at it, and we're going to be touching back to our main points over and over again.
Yeah, with a specific focus on the language they use and how it kind of goes into the whole ethos of this scheme.
We'll start the video now. It's called "The 7 Best Tips for Top Lane in League of Legends," and it's got a thumbnail of basically like how to get to challenger. Right, that's basically how it looks. I'll just play it now.
Welcome to SkillCap's Guide, where we'll be giving you 7 incredibly useful tips for top lane. Everything featured in this guide will immediately be applicable to your gameplay and are tips that you'll be able to use regardless of what champion you're playing. Using these tips will help you consistently win more laning phases, so let's get right into it.
Let's just pause it there. Yeah. Immediately applicable every champion.
So straight away we've got these key points that they really harp on about, which is immediate application, immediate improvement, immediate ranking
now.
up.
It's just a bad solution, no? Every single champ applicable now.
I can't really think of anything that could be applicable in any situation
Yeah,
at
I
all.
can't.
Really,
I can't. Yeah,
it's such a
oh,
complex game, and yet here they are promising the unpromisable.
yeah, yeah, totally. Let's keep going. Let's see what else they have to offer.
For our first tip, let's talk about minion aggro because it's going to be relevant
Let's
for
take a look
some
at
of
that in
our
the
other
top
few.
left. Abusing minion aggro.
Yeah.
More like the bang words.
Yeah,
The hot word.
yeah, that promises just instant gratification.
Yeah, let's go. Abusing the little gimmick.
Yeah.
Future tips as well. Everyone knows that if you
Look, I don't know if everyone knows.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
It's like imposing their authority as well. Then no, that's like how they
Yeah.
show they're better.
It's a bit
Everyone knows that.
accusatory, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It really does
not
put
everybody.
skill capped in a position to like be able to talk at you.
Yeah, we'll look at it later. But like, who is skilled cap?
Yeah. Who is Mr. Cap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
not your own minions. Meanwhile, your own minions continue dealing damage. Doing so will typically help you push way more than if you just auto-attack the wave normally. The best way of abusing this is by trying.
This is more
There
about
it is again.
right? They've basically just talked through the tip, which is to take the minion aggro, right? But it's just you don't know why. They don't tell you why, right? They don't tell you why to use it, how, like, when to use it. Like,
In fact, I could tell you if you applied this in every situation, you would probably lose. You would be shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah.
It's not good. It's really
Yeah.
not a good way to.
Yeah. So
to
I
learn.
think overall we've got two things going on here. One is that they are promising these band-aid fixes that will immediately make you improve, and at the same time they're offering shady advice, which may be applicable in very specific situations. But for your average player, they just won't be able to grasp why you do it and when to do it.
Yeah.
And then if it does fail, if indeed you do not rank up because of these shady tips, there they are with their little service.
Yeah. The tips aren't what's going to get you to higher E-loads. It's your understanding of the game, and that comes through curiosity. No? Curiosity. What did I do wrong here? What could I have done better? That sort of thing. It's not this little new trick you learned. Like, you need to have the foundations down to apply these tricks.
I guess as a skill cap is an alternative to that.
Mm.
An alternative to putting in the work and learning the ins and outs and the fundamentals of the game. Instead, you just look at some skill cap. Oh, OP champion. Here we go. Up to challenger.
Let's
the easy
move
way
forward
out.
this video again. We'll move forward a little bit here.
And it's what they prey on.
Damage in the long run. If you use minion aggro to get the push, being a bit down on HP won't matter. Having the bigger wave is the most important thing in top lane.
Let's stop that there. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I think that's a pretty dubious statement to put out there.
It's not a bad statement. They're so good at it, man.
Yeah.
Having the bigger wave is
the
most important thing in top lane. Wow.
If you're like a week deep into the game and someone says that, you're gonna think they know what they're talking about.
It's really like,
and I can, like, most people who are watching this, I would say they're probably pretty new at the game. I don't think this is very applicable at all.
It's certainly not applicable in the sense that it's like teaching you, like, here's like a little analogy, right? It's like learning how to, like, it's like learning how to drive a car before, like, knowing like before knowing
how to walk
any
from your door to the
rules.
car.
Yeah,
You
gotta learn to walk before you can run.
These
right?
are like
It's
very
skipping ahead.
specific little situations you might find yourself in, but if you're a newer player, there's much greater problems you're gonna have in the game than this.
It's very niche, and you need to learn other stuff to apply this, otherwise you're just gonna cook yourself, and they don't really touch on that.
Yeah. I think the real point here is that they offer very dubious advice that masquerades as a quick fix to all of your problems, that keeps you watching their videos, basically.
Yeah, and they pose it as the ultimate way, right? Like, you can't do wrong with it, but there's pros and cons to everything, and they just haven't pushed that across, showing how poor they are educating people.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, like you won't improve because of these videos. And
No,
because of that, you will keep watching their videos and get their service.
Well, we'll see that in a minute.
And this is a great way of securing that push during those critical early levels. Now, the best way to secure the rank is, of course, using our
right on
service
cue.
at skillcap.com. Take our top lane course on how to get diamond in 30 days.
It just always ties back to now. Get this diamond in 30 days now.
Yeah, it's all about the here and now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's this quick skyrocket into high elo now.
Yeah.
There's a process to it, man. There's a reason why it took people forever and ever to get to Challenger. It's because it's hard. To get to Diamond's hard. You're not just going to suddenly just skyrocket like that.
I think it really goes into like kind of the ethos going around nowadays, which is temporary and quick. Like I make the analogy of fast fashion.
Yeah.
Make a million diamonds and then chuck them out in a couple of days. Is that not the same as abuse this champ now before it gets patched?
Mm-hmm. Wear it for a couple of weeks before it, it's no longer on trend. You don't want to wear it anymore.
Yeah. So I would say skill capped is kind of the capitalist answer to League of Legends. Like it was inevitable. I think it's just filling the void.
Because people want the quick fix. No one wants to spend 6 months, 1 year improving in a way that will improve you consistently in the long run. If you get what I'm going at, like you'll stay there. This is like some quick little thing which may or may not work. Probably will shoot you in the foot and make it worse. Let's be honest, right? Like
that's the danger in this. Yeah.
This will teach you step by step how to climb from low elo all the way to diamond as a top laner. This course has a perfect 5-star rating by over 20 players who are seeing insane results. And remember, this is completely risk-free for you to try as you're kept safe with our rank up insurance. If you don't significantly improve while actively using skill capped, then you get your money back, no questions asked.
We'll just pause it there because no questions asked. Well,
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that there. Just to round this out, I think I'd like to talk about the greater impact on the environment, the scene, as well as like how it impacts, greater life. Like, you'll see, right? It's peddling this horrible work ethic of get the easy way out. Don't put the hard work in. Do whatever it takes now to get that little bump ahead. Before you come tumbling back down.
Do we not see this message like everywhere in today's society?
It's like fast content media, like TikTok, just instant dopamine hit. Like, and it draws parallels with like work and uni life. Like your studies. It's like the same as cramming, no?
Yeah,
it's like that sort of thing.
Is skill capped not just the League version of Chegg?
Yeah, it's the Chegg of League. And what really saddens me is the way it's impacting the community of educators that are actually trying to help people.
Yeah.
And promoting good, solid guides and
proper
content.
That are actually based on lots of experience, and they have the reasons why, and they're generally geared towards improving you as a player.
Not pumping out money and getting views and click and buy this course, right? I'd like to mention, just like, for example, one, I know Coach Curtis makes amazing content that's like really in depth and long. Like he made a Syndra guide, like a champion guide. That was like 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
The amount of effort that went into it is astounding.
And compared to 20 skill cap videos,
it's like compared to skill cap, just pumping out content left, right, and center. That's just,
and this is what the small creators have to deal with. They have to compete with.
And then you see them.
Indeed, you see them. They conform.
You'll see that you can see their thumbnails start looking like it.
We have some here. Yeah,
it works. You can see the statistics. They get views.
Yeah,
right? And they generate income.
So then all these small creators have to take on their whole aesthetic and their form, and it's very detrimental to the whole scene.
It's really quite sad. And honestly, it's a pretty dangerous thing to be teaching people that the way you learn is through this cheap little gimmick.
Yeah.
You know,
learn a secret tip now.
To suddenly skyrocket you.
In a way, it reminds me of a weird example, like the breathing techniques. Like, oh, use this Iceman technique, jump in the ice bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wim Hof technique. Wim Hof smother technique. Like,
the sandwich strat.
Yeah.
You know.
Secret techniques. And at the end of the day, it's about avoiding the hardship. And who will be there to help you avoid the hardship and provide the satisfaction? It'll be capitalism.
Yeah. It's quite dangerous the way it teaches you to.
I think it is dangerous, but I also think it's inevitable that something like skill cap has appeared in that educational landscape for League of Legends.
Yeah, it's a trend you see in society growing, like this quick, easy, form factor, like TikTok's so available, just doom swiping, Insta Reels, YouTube Shorts, that sort of thing. This quick dopamine hit, quick and easy, here, right, and there, whatever, 1 minute there, 2 minutes there, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's taking over society in a way that's really quite detrimental.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap it off. And I just want you to touch back on the quote from the beginning.
Yeah. So, I fear not the man who has endeavored 1,000 skill capped quotes. I fear the man who has played and VOD reviewed 1,000 games. So, I think that is not just applicable to League of Legends. I think that is applicable to broader life. And really the issue we're pointing out here today, which is that people just want to take the easy way out nowadays.
Yeah.
I say nowadays as someone born in 2004.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
As an average League player making these massive commentary.
Yeah.
Some company, but
I do think this does come from capitalism though.
I do so too.
I think that's what we've been arguing today. So yeah.
That's our take, our philosophy on all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah. All right. So this is Kieran and Joseph, and we're signing out.
Bye-bye.
Next time.